Why is it so hard for you millennials to buy a house? You know, it may be because you have a difference of opinion. It may be because of a lot of things. Buying a house is a big commitment. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about that because a lot of you don't want to buy. You just want to pay rent so you can be mobile. You want to be in Miami during the winter and LA during the summer or vice versa. You just want to be playing around at the resort areas and flexing on Graham and doing all that kind of stuff. And you really got to ask yourself, what is the reason why you don't want to buy real estate? There's mixed opinions, and I think, you know, I'm not saying your opinion's wrong, but my opinion is you should start to look at the toughest reason why you're not doing it. And I would think it's probably the down payment. I can only imagine when I got started, if I wasn't given a break where I was building a project for someone, he said, live in this house for free. I was able to save 20 grand and buy my first house. But if I didn't have that break, where do you get 20 grand? I think the toughest problem for you is how to get the deposit. If you guys are too busy flexing on the gram, buying bottles out at the club, spending your money and not looking at what buying real estate does for you, you have to think again. I want to tell you what it does. Now, I'm not saying that it's not fun, and I did it. If I would do it all over again, I would have got serious. I didn't buy my first piece of real estate until I was almost 28 years old when I got married. So I had to make that big decision, but you guys have to make the decision. If the deposit's in the way and that's what's giving you a problem, I want to give you 3 reasons why it makes sense to buy real estate. Number 1, you guys could be out there spending $1,000 a month on a fancy car. You could be living with your parents. If you're doing that, you better start thinking about what I'm going to tell you right now. Because if you got a fancy car, that thing just dropped in value as you pulled out the driveway. Now, if you have an asset, every time you pay every month, it's like having a savings account. Now, I'm going to tell you 3 reasons, but think about it. If you're paying rent every month, you're just kind of burning money, in my opinion. You may think it's paying for that high style life and all that kind of good stuff, but think about it. At the end of the year, you have 0. That's right, you have 0 at the end of the year. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons now why. Number 1, when you buy real estate, you have an asset. What does that do? It teaches you something really important in life. And I have a couple millennials. I have twins 28 years old, and I have a 23-year-old. And I'm telling them, you buy real estate because you now have an asset where one day you can turn around and go, wow, I got 100 grand of equity. That mortgage is paid off, free and clear. Now I can go buy another house. An asset is a lot better than the bling. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, the second reason why is because as a millennial, you need to learn about commitment. Commitment's tough, right? You got to make a commitment. That means consistency. You got to hold yourself accountable. You got to get your ass out of bed in the morning. You got to take steps, time block, keep accountable, start working on your self-mastery. That's a big thing in life, right? Commitment is tough. A lot of times you don't want to make that commitment. So think about the commitment, because the commitment will lead to the great things. You will not have instant gratitude, but you will have long-term lifestyle you want, and that's what you want. Right. Number 3, which is super critical, is that you automatically solve the problem we brought up originally. You don't have the deposit because you're not paying yourself first. I read a book a long time ago, The Richest Man in Babylon, and it taught me, take that one golden nugget every week, 10% of what you earn, and put it in the bank and forget about it. Do that, because then one day you could remember that you have that as a deposit, and it makes sense to take your savings and put it into an asset, because you're essentially creating a bank account with that asset. It forces you to make a payment every month, which then is saved over a long time, and through depreciation and tax write-offs and depreciation that you get to write off, there are so many benefits of buying real estate. This is what I want to talk to you about today and leave you with, hey, you guys got to stop with this designer stuff. You look good, but looking good doesn't do anything for you. Trust me. Looking good, looking bad, who gives a shit what people think? Look at your bank account. Save your money, get an asset, buy one asset, buy the next asset, then get the fancy car. I don't mean to use abrupt language, But I'm just telling you, I'm talking straight with you. Make it happen. If you want to learn how to buy assets, check out kenvanliew.com and make it a great day.